I think the biggest challenge about the 60-60 is realizing that God is bigger than everything that you think is important to you.
I just felt like I'd kind of been slipping away from God.
The 60-60 experiment has been an awesome challenge for me personally.
Once I started doing the challenge, it was a lot harder than I expected it to be.
It has helped me to focus more attention on Him through my daily routine versus just kind of self-centeredness.
I think about Him all the time, but it's harder to have something reminding you every hour.
For me, it's been a real witnessing opportunity because in the middle of class it'll go off and it's just really annoying beep, and then my friends come up to me and they're like, why is it going off again? And I'll be like, oh, well, I'm doing this challenge at church. And they're just like, really? That's not like church to me. Maybe that God's a little bit more than being stuck in Sunday school when they were 4.
How do imperfect people become all God intended? How do anxious, stressed out people actually find peace? Or burdened people actually lighten their load? How do addicted people get free? Or divorcing people, how do they actually reconcile? How do bored or discouraged people find hope and excitement for life again? How do we actually love God and love the people around us in life-giving ways? That's what Soul Revolution is all about. Jesus was once meeting with his small group at the house of Mary and Martha, and he said to Martha, Martha, you're bothered and worried about so many things, but only one thing is necessary. You could probably say the same thing to many of us, right? You're stressed and anxious about so much. You try so hard, but only one thing is necessary. Well, if only one thing is really necessary, what is that one thing? And we ought to know it and we ought to do it, right? Well, the scriptures are clear that the one thing that Jesus said was necessary is to learn to maintain this moment-by-moment constant contact with God's Spirit in a posture of willing, radical obedience to listen and respond. As we learn to do this, what happens is we begin to experience the love of God, but also the guidance and leadership of God, and we become free, life-giving people to the ones we love around us. We also just become more useful to God in this world. I wrote the book Soul Revolution to lead you on a journey of discovery of how to actually live and do this one thing Jesus said was necessary through a 60-day experiment. It's not a campaign. This isn't a program. This is learning to get in the habit of actually doing the one thing that Jesus said was necessary. And what you'll find is as you learn to do this one thing, God takes care of so much else that we were so worried about.
Now that I've been through the 60-60 challenge, I've realized how much it's really helped me. I think that I have a much closer relationship with Him because I just talk to Him a lot more and it's personal. I'm really happy that I did it. It's one of the most exciting things I think I've done in a long time.
The 60-60 challenge has given me a new perspective because I kind of realized that God is there every minute of the day and He's always available.
Basically, every time I get a text, it's almost like a reminder from God, that He cares about me and that I should be living for Him.
I don't think that I necessarily need that reminder. I think I have an internal alarm right now that's going off every time I do something wrong, and it's awesome.
Every single time I, reset, I would just sort of talk to God and be like, hi God, what do you want me to do in this moment? And the hardest thing was probably actually doing what He wanted me to do in that moment.
If you give 100%, even if you do it 5 times a day versus every hour, you'll see improvement.
If you just pursue happiness, you just do all the things that make you happy and you don't have God in your life, it's really empty.
The more you fail, the more you succeed, and the succeeding part is the part that's the most worthwhile.
When you take this challenge, it's not something to be taken lightly. It's huge. It will change you. There's no way that it can't if you really put effort and energy into this, because every 60 minutes, every so often, you are resetting yourself to think about God and to realize that He's right there by your side. And that's something that, for most people, I feel that we just don't do normally.